Hey guys, welcome back to Woodshop Junkies and making the most of my small shop. Today I'm going to try and do something about my lighting situation. Before I get into it, however, I want to give a massive thank you to everybody that participated in my latest giveaway. By the time this video goes up, all the winners would have been notified, but you can check out the names in the description of this video. Now, for today's video, my shop lights. This is something I should have invested time in quite a while ago, because you may have noticed that I always work with my garage door open, because I depend heavily on natural light to be able to work and record. This is not ideal because it severely limits my available working time to when the sun is shining. So to overcome this, I need to upgrade my shop lights. Now I have been messing around with a design for adjustable light fittings that I can mount all over my shop. Because I am trying to make the most of my small shop, I try to design all my projects for increased functionality. Giving them the ability to move around means they can adapt to whatever project I'm working on. That's why I want the light fittings adjustable, so I can focus the light where it is needed most at any given time. The fitting I'm making is to accommodate a standard T5 LED tube. In this case I'm using these lights that I recently purchased because they are sealed units and installation is fairly straightforward. They are supplied with these plug-and-play type cables, so they simply plug in and turn on. They are also supplied with these little bridge type pieces, so you can run multiple lights from the same power source. If you guys want more info on these lights, I will be adding them to my Amazon storefront, and you can find the link in the description of this video. But for now, I'm going to get started on the components for the fitting. Okay, so to get started with the fitting, I sized up a few pieces of wood on my table saw, 2 pieces of thin MDF, and then a plank like this where I cut the 2 edges to a 45-degree angle. The lights are going to mount on this piece like that, and then the MDF is going to be installed on the sides to help direct or focus the light. Right, so that's it. The next step is to cap the end. Okay, so this is pretty much what my light mounting is going to look like. The 2 T5 fittings are going to be installed in here, and I have these sides to help me direct or focus the light. Now I want this fitting to be adjustable, which means that when I mount it over it, I want it to be able to move left and right. And when I mount it on the side, I want it to be able to move up and down. To achieve this, I need to add a pivot axis. So I'm going to use this piece of pipe and mount it at the back like that, and that's going to allow me to achieve this axis. Now to fix the pipe to the back of the light, I'm going to use PVC conduit saddles, which isn't going to be the most cosmetically pleasing solution, but it's going to be pretty convenient. Okay, so for the light mounting, I wanted something that is a bit more universal in the sense that I can mount it pretty much wherever I want in my shop and still capitalize on the full functionality of the fitting. So I cut up this piece of 1/2 inch plywood using my table saw to act as the base of the fitting. Now it might be a bit thin, but the first sets of lights I'm going to be mounting at the space that I left at the top of my French cleat wall, so it should be just fine. Then to act as a cradle for the pipe or the rotating axis, I cut up these pieces using my miter saw. I also added these 45s on the corners, but this is mostly for cosmetic reasons. The final step in the preparation was drilling this flush base hole to act as the cradle for the pipe itself. These will now be attached on the ends of the base, and the pipe will fit into this, allowing the fitting to rotate within it. Right, so this is pretty much the idea. It can be side mounted or overhead without losing any of its functionality. There is, however, one mechanism outstanding responsible for locking the fitting in whichever position it is placed in. Now I considered a few methods of achieving this, but for me the ideal would be one that would only require one hand to operate. So to achieve this, I'm going to attempt using a ball catcher. Okay, so now I made up this C-shaped piece, which I'm going to be showing you what it's for in a moment. But first, this is the ball catch I'm going to be using, which is actually a spring-loaded catch for a door. Now, if I actually made an effort, I probably could have found something better suited to the design, but I had these, so I figured I'd use them. As for the C-shape, I'm going to make small indentations along the curved edge. I'm then going to install it over the pipe like this so that the center of the circle is in line with the center of the pipe. This is important because I need this distance to stay consistent when the fitting is being rotated. I'm then going to install the catch like this, but in line with the C-shaped piece, which will allow each indentation to act as a position setting for the light fitting. If I needed these indentations very accurate, I probably would have made a jig that would allow me to make them with a uniform spacing. But I don't, so I took whatever I could find in the shop to mark more or less an acceptable curve, and now I'm going to use this drum sander bit to make them. And that's pretty much the idea. Now I'm going to install the lights and mount the fitting, but before I do, I want to paint the inside of the fitting white in the hopes of helping focus the light. And that's pretty much it for the concept. It seems to work just fine, and I think it is a useful addition to the shop. But if you have any opinions on this build, please leave a comment down below. Now at the moment I'm powering it from just having it plugged into an extension cord, but I do want to do a proper power layout that powers the light fittings from my light switch. But obviously before I can do that, I need to install all the fittings first. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. I've already started on 3 more fittings, and by the time my next video goes out, they should be up and running. If you want to see that and you are not subscribed yet, you should do that now. Also, many of the items used in this video has already been added to my Amazon affiliate storefront, so if you want to check pricing and availability, you can simply click the link in the description of this video. Remember, you can also support my channel by checking out my merch storefronts, and for the SA guys that have been asking, I am looking into a local supplier. But that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Till next time, cheers.